Hi, welcome back. Yesterday I did a video on transition periods. So if you are going through a transition period, you can watch the previous video and you'll have some guidance as to what next steps to take or maybe where these transitions are happening. I'm probably going to do another reading on that as well here today, but I want to talk a little bit about how to understand when you are going through a transition period, because not everybody is conscious or aware of the signs that they receive when it's time to move forward with your life. Now, some of these forces can be internal and some of these forces can be external. So external forces, for example, would be your schedule not aligning with somebody else. Every time you're trying to meet somebody for a meeting or a social network, and the schedules just are not in alignment. Things are not going as smoothly as they were before. So you start to see a little bit more, tweaks that you have to make to your own schedule or to your work, or just things that are not, that used to be easy are starting to become a little bit more challenging. Perhaps there are some technical issues. For me, for example, there's a couple of social media platforms that for the life of me I cannot seem to upload videos or get any traction on those sites like I used to once upon a time, but no longer. So now I'm moving over to YouTube to see if this is more my vibe, and I'm getting the signals from the universe. So that's the other thing. If you're noticing that there's synchronicities or messages from the universe, that's also from an external force, right? That is pushing you or encouraging you to move in a certain direction. Then listen to that, because it's very valid. It's a way of acknowledging that you are connected to the universe. Spirit is trying to speak to you through these synchronicities. What else? Maybe you stop seeing eye to eye with certain people you used to get along with, and now there's a little bit of tension, or you're just bored with each other, or you don't have anything in common anymore. That's another sign that you need to move on. And then you also notice that there are other things that bring you more excitement and joy or interest in what you're currently doing. So those are external forces. If we were to move to internal forces, things like you can tell by your emotions, right? If you're feeling bored doing a certain thing, and maybe your beliefs are now being changed or challenged, and you don't feel like you align with these people or the situation or these habits anymore, that's a very good indication that it's time to change. Sometimes you may feel drained in certain situations, or leaving a certain person's company, or a work situation, or even your social networks. If you're feeling drained, it's time to move on. Also, your dreams. Your subconscious is going to send you many signals through your dreams, if you can remember them, and they will encourage you to move forward. Okay. Lastly, it's an internal feeling. It's an internal yearning for change, or maybe a feeling of anxiousness, like something needs to shift, but you don't know what it is, or if that there's a change coming. You can kind of feel it. You will get that internal yearning. Now, if you've never done Akashic Records work, I wanted to talk to you just very briefly about that before I move to the cards. We are energetic beings, right? And we are connected to the cosmos. And there are times where we make as many changes as possible in order for us to move forward. We can try all kinds of different things, but feeling that nothing is really changing, or we're feeling blocked in all certain directions, and then we take that as a symbol that, oh, maybe I'm not supposed to go in that way, or maybe I'm not supposed to go in that way, but then you run out of choices as to where to go, right? If you're feeling blocked, you're feeling discouraged continuously, it could be that there are external forces that are affecting your karma and your dharma, or it could be your own negative karma that is affecting how you move forward. Regardless, when you go into the Akashic Records, it gives you a complete blueprint of what is going on. And when the timing is right and you are given permission to look at the records and understand what it is that's blocking you, where it is that you need to make change, you can make permanent changes, very significant and permanent changes that are for your highest and best good. So if that is something of interest to you, just go to my website and book a reading with me. I will be happy to help. So now let's move into the card reading for transitions. I'm going to start here. Surrender to silence. Obviously, that's saying to take time to connect and listen to the messages that are being sent to you as to which direction I think for some people, the silence also refers to tapping into your emotions. What is it that you're feeling? Sometimes our mind and our body is like screaming at us and we're not paying attention. I know I've had many years of that. Many years of that. Oh, surrender your belief in scarcity. So if anybody is looking to change career or even move out of a relationship where you are codependent with that person to rely on them for money, it's time to move on. And understand that it's okay to move on. You're going to be okay. Everybody is in transition right now, almost everybody. And oh, surrender resentments, okay? Surrender resentments, because they're only just, they're poison to you. And the more you hang on to resentments in your life, believe me, I know this card very well. The more you hang on to resentments, the harder it is going to be to move forward, for sure. Because those are going to create blocks in your abundance. Surrender procrastination. I know nothing about this card. No, I know everything about this card. So procrastination, yeah. Now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract success. So sometimes taking action is just sitting there and listening to messages, right? Surrender to silence. Allowing the time to get feedback from the universe, get guidance from the universe is actually probably going to set the foundation of what it is that you want to do in the first place. So don't feel that you have to run out and do all of these things and you have to create this and create that. Maybe just stop and listen for a while. And then once you know where you are, and you're given guidance to move forward, then that would give you the foundation, that will give you the game plan to move forward without, being frustrated or putting too much on your plate. So, and that will actually end procrastination, wouldn't it? Once you have a plan, because some of us don't know where the heck it is that we're going. And you can see the stairs in this particular card. If you know where you're going, then it's an easy climb. It may not be just a flat road. It might be a bit of a climb. So don't be discouraged, but at least there are stairs there and it's showing you where to go. So just surrender to silence to understand where it is that you need to go. And then when you do need to set your goals, just start with baby steps and acknowledge every step that you make, so that you can either you have a checklist that you can actually see that you're making progress, or acknowledging the little baby steps that you're taking will at least feed your positive ego and help you continue to think forward rather than focus on what you haven't done and where you are being stuck. Again, listen. They're asking you, your guides are asking you to take the time to listen where it is that you need to go. And also not worrying about the outcome. So when they're giving you suggestions as to what to change, not to worry about how it's going to end. Can you just take a little bit of guidance and follow the steps and not worry about the future so much? Just focus on what's happening right now. Where are your guides telling you to move, to change, to grow, to let go? Okay, very strange. If you looked at the last video, the new partner came up in that video as well. And so I think I was talking about that one as new relationship with yourself. Some people, new external partner. I think that's where this is going, because this card keeps coming up. So there might be somebody else in your near future. And I believe that it's going to come with a shower of abundance. So yeah, relationships are ending. New relationships are coming. Let's just clarify this new partner card. Let's see in what areas of life this could be. Oops, this is the Tower card. Okay, so things may be ending. Big changes coming, but that's okay, because Through change, we grow. We've got a shower of abundance here. There is nothing to be worried about with that Tower card, okay? It is in your relationship. Here's the Lover's card. So some of you who might be waiting for that relationship to come through, it's on the way. And for those of you who are not in a relationship, let's see what this... This card came up in that previous reading as well. So what is it that you're worried about? What is it that is keeping you up at night? Are you having issues in your current relationship? Sometimes the problems are bigger than what they seem. They want me to tell you that. Sometimes the problems are bigger than what they seem. So maybe taking the time in silence to assess from a higher perspective as to what is really going on. Are the problems really the problems, or is it something else that's coming up that's disguising itself as the problems in the relationship? What's really going on? Tap in, because I feel like there's something deeper. Let's see if there is any guidance in terms of the deeper issues. Ooh, deeper issues. Some of you might be involved in a court case and you're worried about the outcome of the court case. Maybe it's a divorce that you're going through, but it shows that everything is going to be fine. Okay, day of judgment is coming. It's going to be fine. Okay, let's see what archetypes that we need to surrender in order to move forward. What are the archetypes that we need to move forward, to release, to move forward? Release or surrender, or at least come to the forefront. What is it? Okay, so Advocate. So the light aspect is it inspires you to put compassion into action, and the shadow is embracing negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain. I believe that there's a situation that's happening where they're asking for you to be a little bit more compassionate. And you know what? Being compassionate doesn't necessarily mean being acceptance of the behavior. So if there's bullshit going on, you got to leave that situation. Okay? So you can be compassionate for yourself as well and just leave. I know easier said than done, but trust me, it took me many years to leave my marriage, so I understand if it's taking some time. But I think that if I had first started with compassion for myself rather than having compassion for my ex, how is he going to handle things? How is he going to live without this? How is he going to take this information? Like, I needed to have more compassion for myself and realize back then and there that I was going through narcissistic abuse. And the most compassionate thing that I could have done for me was to walk away much sooner than I did. So if you are going through or you're having some issues in your relationship, remember I said that these issues might be a little bit deeper than they actually appear to be. So maybe, okay, I'll give you examples with me. We would fight about, let's say, the roles in the house as to who's cleaning up what, who's doing which chores, or he'd be gaslighting me about just stupid things. And I would think that maybe we needed to work on our relationship. Maybe we needed to work on our communication. We just weren't communicating better. Or that we had different beliefs. We're growing at different levels and we needed to work on those things. But that really wasn't the case. The case was that it was narcissistic abuse. And I was able to learn more about that the more I dived into, and I paid attention, and I listened to my guides. I watched for synchronicities. I learned more and more about myself. I was going through my own healing experiences with my, with my healers, with my therapists. And then I realized that it wasn't these issues that were showing up on the surface, the communication issues or the differences in, what we liked and what we didn't like doing out of life. But it was that it was narcissistic abuse. So it was definitely something internal, deeper that was going on. Okay, this card, yeah, it's the Hero card. And the Fool card came up in the previous reading too. So there is definitely an end cycle and you are moving forward. And they're asking you for you to have a passion for your journey of personal empowerment. So if you are in a relationship that is not good for you, the sign is right there. Your personal empowerment is to move forward. You're starting a new journey, and it's time. Also, if you have children, both boys and girls, if you stand up and you leave this relationship, you're actually doing them a service. You heal, every time you heal yourself, you heal 3 generations before and 3 generations ahead of you, right? So if you do the work now for your children, you show your daughters that this type of behavior is not tolerated. You show your sons that this type of behavior is not tolerated, nor is it acceptable. Then you are helping set the parameters for them when they go into their own relationships in the future. And wouldn't you want things to be better for them than they were for you? I'm going to pull one final card from Archangel Michael. We're going to ask Archangel Michael for guidance in this situation. Excuse me. Lean on God and the angels for support. Here's the prayer. Dear God and angels, I give you this situation now and completely. I step out of the way and allow divine miracles to shine through everyone and everything involved. Again, similar to what came up in the previous reading. So perhaps we are not spending as much time as Spirit would like connecting or asking. First we have to ask for guidance, right? Before we receive it. Asking, listening, and then following through. Even if it's just baby steps. For those of you who are at the stage where you want to see a lawyer and you need some advice from a lawyer, just baby steps. Just find somebody who's aligned with your beliefs, who's going to help you, and just know what your rights are. What is it that you're going to need to move forward? What documents are you going to need? Yeah, so some of us are stuck in the fear of moving forward because we don't know where we're going. But if you don't know where you are, you're never going to know where you're going. So find out where it is that you are right now. What is it that you need to move forward? And your inner guidance is real and trustworthy. Here is the prayer. Please help me clearly hear, see, feel, and know the divine guidance that I have asked and prayed for. I just said that, right? Ask. Allow me to keep my ego out of the way so your wisdom can come streaming through me for my own benefit and for those around me. So another confirmation for you to ask, to trust in yourself so that it will benefit you and those around you, including your children. Right? Including your children. I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.